You know, it's almost like your birthday with a package from China, so let's go. I was afraid of this because the inputs of the D-pad are absolutely horrible. Over here we have a volume control, there are just micro switches. So at the side we're going to get ourselves the ABXY and of course already mentioned the slider joystick. It's kind of interesting, it's sliding but it is also tilting a little bit, so this is not going to be very comfortable. And then of course we have the sliders, select the start, there are also micro switches. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is remove the plastic over here. That's something I do not always remove. And I do get a lot of comments on it, but it's going to be a nightmare recording because and this thing is, this front glass is really glossy, and I can tell you what they are using is this very thin plastic at the front, and it is absolutely low quality. Oh man, that is scratch sensitive. What are we actually going to get inside here? There is no screen protector. This should add absolutely like a screen protector for the money we're paying for it. We're going to get these crappy headphones. I can tell you they are like not comfortable or not sounding great. Then of course the toilet paper manual with some explanation how everything works, what you can play, the key function and etc. But in overall, yeah, I must say that I am a little bit disappointed for the money that they're not going to give you a screen protector because you're going to need it with these cheaper devices. But let's take a close look at all the connections. We do have a normal USB one, that is something you don't see very often. But it's interesting, you can plug in a controller. Then we have the on and off switch, and Type-C in, an SD card, then the headphone, HDMI out, and what is also an interesting option, we do have a home button over here. So they give you like a separate home button at the top, and then of course the on and off switch. So let's turn it on. The display quality, yeah, you can see the angle of it, it's not great. Maybe it's my 5.1 inches, but it's not 5.1 inches of fun, because this is going to be not a superb experience that we have with some of the other devices like Ambernick or Powkiddy. The menu is straightforward. What you're going to get in here is a separate page where all the emulators can be found. All the way up to PlayStation. I'm just going to be honest, like the input, you can see doing some weird stuff over here. Like what the hell? That's weird. But okay, so we have like the download folder, then we're having over here all the other stuff like video, music, and etc. At the back we're going to find ourselves the speaker, or at least one speaker, but so far I can heard of. Unfortunate, yeah, that's the thing they're mostly doing, but later on we're going to open it up and see what we're actually going to get in the inside. What can we find in the settings language? Let's take a close look at this. We don't have like a lot of options. Is it so? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I just want to double check. The date and time, display settings. So let's check the backlight. Time has been set to 15 seconds. Okay. Advanced information. We can put in the owner. Firmware version. Seems to be this on an older version because it has been set to 1212. Yeah, 2012 or. Yeah, no, it's not saying that. I have a Braveheart over here. The key tune can be changed out. Let's turn it off. Oh, you're only having one key tune, or you can just turn it off. So that's basically what we're going to get. There is not a lot of information, but let's see when it comes to the games. Do we have an extra option for getting back into the menu? So pressing the home button here at the top, we're going to get yourself, when you're in the game, this menu. So here we're going to get the game reset, quick load, quick save, return and exit. There is no way to reconfigure the emulator or the controls itself. So what you see is what you're going to get. So let's start off with this particular game, and the reason why I have tested this many times before on different systems. The volume is not that loud, quite disappointing. Oh man, this analog stick is so horrible. The D-pad is way better. Alright, there we go. I have no idea how they configured everything. Alright, there we go. But the emulation performance is so much better than the previous handhelds I've tested out. Think about the X series. They are running exactly the same kind of layout, or at least the software at the back end. So there is some improvement here, so that is quite positive. Next up, let's try some Mega Drive. The audio is kind of slow. So far I know they are not running some ball ROMs on here. There we go. Yeah. Let's actually play the game, but it runs really slow. That's unfortunate, to be honest. First of all, the audio of the Game Boy goes like twice as loud than the other games. But yeah, because we don't have any option to change out the aspect ratio, it looks absolutely horrible. It's completely stretched out. Oh, there we go. Another thing I want to try out to see how they actually get the arcade stuff to work. With the previous system, I can still remember that it was absolutely horrible. I keep grabbing to the analog stick, but I cannot play with that thing. The response to the D-pad is not bad at all. Despite this thing feels way too, let's say, let's put it this way, this thing has quite a lot of travel and also combination with quite a lot of resistance, but it seems to be playing quite nice for games like this. But the ultimate test for this cheap device is of course PlayStation 1. And for the people who know the game, listening to the soundtrack says everything. It sounds completely messed up and it doesn't run like it should be. There's no way of like adjusting this in the menu. Maybe it's a BIOS issue or something else, or maybe you can implement frame skip but you cannot do anything. It's quite unfortunate, and yep, they completely messed it up. That sounds so hilarious. Run. Another game I wanted to try is Mega Man 8 for the PlayStation 1. Two-dimensional games. In the past we have seen that they had better performance, but also this runs really slow. But I was quite surprised to see that the HDMI works plug and play. I have seen many of these cheaper devices and most of them needs to be, let's say, mess around with the menu or you need to reboot, but this time it seems to be a plug and play solution. But what is even more cooler, they can make a hybrid device with this. Plug in controllers and just use it actually like a game system. I personally love this idea. So what we're going to get with the optional controllers is just your typical PlayStation 2 fake controllers. Well, not like the cheap ones. No, not at all. We're going to get our like very decent like rubberized joystick. The D-pad feels not bad at all. A little bit too clicky to my taste. The overall buttons are not bad at all. And overall, I'm really satisfied. Let's slap some batteries in. I think there were 2 AAAs and let's get funky. All of the plastic craziness. And let's check out if we can use this thing. So they did implement a dongle or a Type-C to USB, so that's great. We're going to use the input, do I say it correctly? Yep, we're going to use this particular port just to see if this is going to be recognized by the system. The controls are turned on. It doesn't make any communication so far. Yeah, no, that doesn't work at all. Okay, so let's try to plug it in here. And this seems to be doing the trick, but the game has already been powered on, so let's reboot this thing and let's see if we can get some of the controls to work with this. Everything has been set up, I just need to reboot the system itself. Let's power on the game. Time for some beefcake turns. Well, it turns into nothing. Basically beefcake with dinos. So the image quality is a little bit washed out. And I mean especially when you're looking at the overall quality, but not to the point that it's super bad. But it's kind of cool, so actually we can play the game without any problem. It plays so much better than the original controls on the handheld, by the way. If you want to play together with a friend, that is possible. What we need to do is press start on the second controller and we're ready to go. 1000 new model. Some parts have been improved when you're looking at the emulation performance, but some parts are still absolutely horrible. They say it can run PlayStation 1, but as you can see in this video, it's absolutely one big lie. It's a very cheap device, the front glass is very cheap to the cheap plastic and it scratches up fairly easy. The overall performance, especially the money you're paying for it, is really bad. The HDMI signal out is very cool, but if they had like better performance, it would maybe like a very interesting contender. For now, I want to thank you all for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think of this and it would be great to see you in the next video.